Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Creative Coach YouTube/podcast. And this kickstarts the How to Film an E-Course series. So, a little backstory about me. I am a videographer, cinematographer, whatever you want to call me, and I film, produce, edit a lot of e-learning content. So, I know a thing or two, and I'm also in the process of creating my own e-course, so filming my own e-learning content, and I have some tips for you guys. So this is part 1 of 3, and this is all about planning. The first step in planning your e-course is to reverse engineer the process. What do you want each and every lesson to look like in the end? That's what you need to know before you even get started. And for a lot of people, this feels overwhelming, but there's not a ton to consider when thinking about the end product. Really, is it going to be you on camera like this, talking about something? Is it going to be you like recording a screen recording on your computer? Or is it going to be something like a slideshow? How do you want this thing to look in the end? Do you want to bring in graphics? Do you need to bring in slides with text on them? Do you want to bring in images, or do you want to create a lot of video or B-roll content for the course? A million different ways you can go with what the final product wants to look like, but you need to know before you start the production process, which is what we're going to talk about in video 2. The next thing you need to do when you're planning the e-course is get familiar with the delivery platform. Or some people call this an LMS, like a learning management system. Think about Udemy. This is like the platform you're going to sell and distribute your class on. Certain platforms are going to have certain limitations, and they're going to have certain ways that they need you to upload the resources, certain links maybe the video can be, different ways that you're going to type in the descriptions. So this is important to know because it might change things that you either put on screen during the video, like in your actual learning video, or things that you want to type out and link in the description or the resources part of the platform. The next step in creating your e-course is to create a basic outline. So this is every single lesson, what sub-lessons there need to be. Do you want to separate it out into like modules? What is your platform going to let you do? You need some kind of outline. And when you create this outline, you should get a sense of how long that this course might take you to make. So in general, I would say give yourself a week or 2 per module to write the script, film it, and edit it. If you're outsourcing this entire project, you are going to be limited to what the videographer's timeline is and what their turnaround time is. So just keep that in mind. The next thing you're going to do is create a script. Do not create an e-course without a script. You cannot wing it. Period. You cannot wing it. Do not waste your own time by not having some kind of script available. Right now, as I'm telling you all of this on camera, I have a script right here in front of me because I'm not in the business of wasting my time, and I'm not in the business of wasting your time. You need a script. Do not wing it. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to create your resources. So this is important because as you're creating your lessons and you're writing out your script, you're going to create resources that correspond with them. So this is something to do after you've written the script. After you know exactly what you're going to say, what resources can or should you create to complement that? And how do these resources need to be laid out so that you can upload them into Udemy or your learning management system or whatever platform you're going to distribute your course on? You need to know all of that before you begin creating these resources so that you don't waste your time. The last step in the planning process is how are you going to sell the course? Planning how you sell your course long before the course is even in the works is super important. Statistically, email marketing is considered the most efficient way to sell an e-course, but how are you nurturing an audience today to sell your course tomorrow? There's a lot of misconceptions about the way that you sell an e-course, like if you build it, they will come, or you've created an e-course and you're so super proud of it. So naturally, anybody who's interested in what you're teaching on is just going to find it, right? Well, that's not true. It takes a lot of engagement to sell a course when it launches. And we're going to talk about this in the third video on the e-course series, which is actually like selling the course and what I've observed from helping clients launch their courses. But the more you can prepare your audience for the launch of the course, the better it's going to do at launch and the better it's going to do over time. So that's it for video 1, planning. Next up is video 2, producing your e-course.